Joining us now at Darts Down Under is Wayne Weening. Now, we're at the Geelong Darts Club, I should say Geelong Darts Club Super League, which I've just been told. Do you want to tell us the story?
It's actually the Geelong Darts Club. The Super League is an affiliated league with Darts Victoria.
Okay, so there you go. That's trying to work out the vagaries of the political machinations around here. Is just as complicated as Sydney. Mate, what is it about darts in Geelong? What is it about this place that people go, wow, this is one of the houses of Australian darts, and brings about such good players out of here as well?
Oh, absolutely. The Geelong Darts Club's it was established in 1977, so it's been around for 50 years now, nearly, and it started off with a group of workers in the Workers' League. They were expats, and it started the darts off, and they decided, let's have our own little place to play darts. So they formed a little club. We've had about 4 extensions or 5 extensions from the room that you see now, and I can point them out to you later in a walkthrough. But just with a little bit of money, a little bit of incentive from the players, for the love of the game, they came to a place where they weren't charged a lot of money, but they could play darts in the one area. And it's just grown from there, and we've had some absolute fantastic players come out of this club and play in the club, Russell Stewart being one of them.
Is it just darts out of here? Do they have other social events to bring in some other forms of income, or...?
Oh, absolutely. They were running bingo 3 or 4 times a week at one stage. And that's been a big revenue spinner because we get no government assistance here. So everything that you see here, they started with a members foundation. They all put in $100 about 40 odd years ago to create the building blocks of the club. But since then, they had a bit of illegal selling of alcohol because we didn't have a full licence, so they had to buy a ticket and then use the ticket to buy the grog. And we had a look-through door, and a key for a member. So all of that sort of stuff, back in those days is how the club was first formed,
And one of the interesting things about having the club itself, and I know there are other clubs around there, but actually driving the food and the drink income straight back into the club would be an important element of survival.
Oh, absolutely. No money from it's an incorporated club, and it's a not-for-profit organisation, which means that you're allowed to make money, bank money, but when the club dissolves, the money has to go to a charity. So the money that's generated, everything you see here, is made from players that have travelled, players that play week in, week out. Our Super League was about 120 strong at one stage at its full strength, and some fantastic players playing in it. That was one night on a Friday night. There was a Thursday night. We had about 6 or 7 teams playing in the Geelong Darts Association League. They were known as the Geelong Men's Darts Association at that stage. Also the Geelong Ladies Darts Association, which we got 3 different associations throughout the Geelong region. They work together now, but not so much back then.
What is it about regional centres? I mean, if on top of my head, I think Townsville, I think Cairns, I think Newcastle, even Cobar. I think Moore, maybe not Moore, but Moore's got the club out there now. But and Geelong, what is it about regional centres that really have that Broken Hill, that have that attraction to darts that gets the players out here, do you think?
Well, I think the first thing's the money. Money will get your players any day of the week. There's no argument there. There's also a history that people like to attend and they like to be part of, and they could say that they've played in the club that, Bride Bigham, Vic Robb, Eddie Sims, Frankie Tarr, Russell Stewart, the likes have all played at some stage on a regular basis so that's the first thing. The second part of that is you need people to want to love the club and be part of it, and so they're the ones, the volunteers, that put the time and effort in to keep it going.
And also, I guess, the family relationships. I mean, I could mention a whole lot of people out there. For yourself, Brandon's playing here. Saw Lucas Cameron playing with his son today. I mean, that association's got to really give that family feel to the place like this.
Oh, absolutely. They open the doors up to families, and they do promote it as a family club, and they let the kids run around a little bit more. It's a lot more liberal now than what it was, say, 25, 30 years ago, when some of the older people were really strict about kids. You can't run, you can't do this, but they're a lot more liberal now and family orientated. So they tend, I think when it comes to spending time, if you can take your kids with you to a club, then you're not leaving them behind, and it's more of a thing that they want to be part of. And they progress now. I'll tell you one person that's come up here that you didn't realise, but I used to watch young Tori Kewish many years ago on one of them practice boards where her father, Steve, was playing in the league, but she would be practising. She was only a kid and, struggled to reach the ball. But I told her this story a while ago that I remembered her standing there. And, it breeds amongst you the people that you want to be part of. If it's a good club and you've got a good atmosphere, you've got good people working, then they want to come there, don't they?
And finally, I guess as we come out of COVID, what's the future for darts, and how do we get back on song for not just the international player but the social player that maybe sees Damon Hedder on television, realises he's Australia's number one now, sees Justin Thompson play on the WDF stage. How do we attract them back to the game and to places like this?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Stu. I think after COVID, people have decided to do other things in their spare time. They've spent more time with their families. They've got to learn who their wives are. That's a big thing. It's a joke. They do joke about it, but I've got very close friends that spent more time now on Fridays and Saturday nights and social gatherings at home than just drifting off and doing their own thing. So to get them back into the darts, to get them back here, we need to make it interesting for them. And the first part is something like this, a tournament like this, where, I think they had 28, entries for the mixed doubles, which is a great start to the Easter weekend, especially after the fundraising they had yesterday. And then they had good turnout for the men's and ladies pairs, which is great. That's a good thing. I think this is the kicking stone of it. It's going to be the bit where people will want to come back and start, instead of doing the other thing, they're going to come back and do darts again.
Thanks for joining us. I would have said on our home territory, but for once it's on your home territory.
Yeah, thanks, Stu. I don't have to travel too far today.
And go the Cats.
Go Cats.